Good evening. We'd like to welcome you all to June Roundtable. We're doing a little experiment tonight in order to reach as many people as possible with our roundtables. We're going to try to record this, edit it, put it on YouTube. I have a handout. Dale Carnegie course on salesmanship says you always put something in people's hands. As you remember, maybe when you was a kid, the Fuller Brush man came around. He had a little brush he'd put in your hand, or a set of combs. Put something in the customer's hand. The milkman would come around. If you left payment in the box, he took the payment and left. If you went to the door to pay, the milkman would have a little pint of cream or a little package of cheese, something he could put in the customer's hands, and then he'd try to sell you to get you to sign up to an extra quart of milk or pint of cream a week.
You're showing your age, Steve.
Or
he is, isn't he?
The Christian Science guy comes around.
The cow never gave us anything when she gave us the milk.
Maybe a kick in the shins.
Oh.
You're not on camera. You're not going to be in the video.
Oh,
So
that's okay.
Christian Science guy would come around. He'd have a little booklet he'd give you. So put something in the customer's hand. So tonight I have something to put in the customer's hand. Why don't you stand in the camera and explain this?
Okay. How many people remember the old TV show Concentration? That shows our age too. So they call it the memory game now with kids. So you lay the cards out upside down, and then each scout takes a turn at turning 2 over. And the point is to match. So these are the first class badge parts. They're a requirement for Weeblo Scout Adventure and requirement for the first rank in Scouts BSA, the Scout rank. So the one I've got here says, shows what a Scout does as he does his duty. That's the knot that hangs from the scroll. And the Scout motto, of course, be prepared. So the kids, when we played it the other night, they kind of, to a certain degree, didn't want to stop and move on. We were doing it while our supper was cooking for the cooking demonstration, and so I think this is going to be something that they're going to enjoy playing. So we printed out for you copies, so hopefully your scouts will enjoy them as well. Well, if you'd be in an attitude of prayer, we will say a short prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this night. We ask that you watch over those that are with us and those that are not. Be with us and help us work with the youth and guide them. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
We'd like to do the pledge, and then after the pledge I'd like to offer a moment of silence for Brian Fights, whose son is an Eagle Scout in Troop 67, who lost his life on the State Road 105 bridge last week in Huntington County, and his funeral was Saturday. So let's do the pledge, and then I would like to do a moment of silence for him. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
We offered a prize for attending roundtables to try to do something to increase attendance in roundtable. We've tried serving the meals. I tried offering a prize here of a bowl made from Chief Little Turtle wood. We've got a variety of cherry and an ash. And the
Thunder?
Okay, Alan Eichhorn was had the greatest attendance for the people that didn't have to be here. He attended 9 roundtables. And next comes in at Perry Harris at 8. I think he had a club meeting or something he was compulsory attendance at. And then the Hesses were next at 7. So looks like Perry gets his choice of the bowls tonight, and we'll
I feel like I have to keep introducing myself, so if y'all know who I am, that's great. Otherwise, my name is Marvin McNew. I'm the new district chairman here for the Wabash Valley District, and been in scouting pretty much all my life as a kid and all the way up through. But would like to thank everybody for what they've done for the district over the last few years, and happy that and Steve, or not Steve, we don't care about him, but Scott and or Herb Scott and Sharon Bowman did a great job in trying to hold the district together as well. So the only thing I have tonight, I think, since I think I'm finally elected into it by the council, so that was probably May, is that really working with Steve, and I've been holding back on him a little bit lately, but and try to get some Friends of Scouting money in for Huntington County. Hope to continue and wrap that up by next week, the end of next week. The other thing is, I don't know how much you know about redistricting. Do we have anybody here from the Zanesville Cub Pack?
No.
Or the GM troop? Okay.
We tried to let them know about it, but we never did get information back on their contact.
Okay.
I told Cody, and I threatened him, but he didn't know if he was going to make it or not.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't talk to the Boy Scout people, but I left a message. I did talk with the Cub Master, and he was Cody's the chairman, community chairman, right, of the unit? Well,
He's the Cub Master, I believe.
Who's the other guy? Yeah, I think he is.
Cody's committee chair, but I think the gentleman you talked to
He was the Cub Master.
was Cub Master.
Yeah. They're really going to need some help. They got a unit that has 8 boys in it, and they're stuck out in the middle of nowhere. So hopefully we'll be able to get them some help out there to help support them along the way. He seems like he's really into it, so probably work with Michael and making sure we can get that done as well. Anything else we've been doing? Am I missing something, Steve, that I told you earlier?
Camp has been called off.
Okay.
Unfortunately, and I'm going to talk about what's going on up there here in a little bit. So
Okay.
I have that covered. So.
All right. The only other thing I'd want to say is trying. I sent out a message. Did you all receive it about giving me some names on folks that might be in your counties? I'm happy to say nobody responded. So, so I think my next avenue is going to be keep trying if you know somebody. But my next avenue is going to be to contact the Chamber of Commerce people and those people that are pretty active in their communities to see if they'll help out as well. We want to get a nominating committee going, and I think that'll help support building up the district as far as the many positions that we have. Right now, I don't know who's on the committee. I'd have to look at my list, but I want to announce that Dave Putt is going to be assistant district chairman for Huntington County, and he's going to get back into it. Herb Scott wants to remain involved, but not on the level that he was earlier. So, and then we're also going to be looking, hopefully, to get somebody put in place that is going to be the cheerleader for the popcorn sales in the fall, and Steve will probably elaborate on that. Does anybody have any questions? I probably met you guys, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. Where are you from?
Wells County.
Oh, Wells County. Okay.
Yeah, we got boys in
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay. 2139? 2149. Okay.
And Boy Scout Troop 149 meets over here at the Calvary Lutheran Church.
Okay, great.
They let us in.
I hope once this COVID stuff gets over to get out and meet with everybody in their units when they have their meetings, just say hi and get to know y'all, because we certainly want to build a strong committee. That's what's going to make it work. Back in the old days, of course everybody looks back and it's never going to be the same, but we used to have at least probably upwards to 35 people on the district committee, and they all attended meetings. So let's make sure we build a strong committee, and we're here to support you. You know, if I send my, I must have sent my phone number out with that. So if you ever need anything, give me a call. I'm retired, so I'm here and available for you. And I probably won't remember you guys because of the mask. So I was in the grocery store the other day, and the guy behind me says, "Well, hi Marv, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing fine." He says, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I said, "How can I tell? You got a mask on." But he was a retired conservation officer, so he and I worked together when we both were working there. So, all righty, unless you got any questions, I'll turn it over to Mike. No.
Touching on a little bit of what Marv had said, I'm new to this position also. I've got really big shoes to fill. I am the district commissioner for Wabash Valley now, and there's a lot of stuff on our plate for unit service that's going to be coming up. One of the main things for the district for unit service is just being able to attend our roundtables. I've got friends in other districts that their councils are knocking out their roundtable meetings and stuff, so they're taking away that unit service right at the stronghold, the base of it. This is where we want all of our leaders to meet. What we learn here, we can take back to the units and make the units stronger and better, and that's just going to make those scouting areas that much better with recruitment of new scouts and building up to where we used to be just a few years ago. Numbers are down, and we have a lot to work on, and that all comes with being strong leaders and with the unit service to everybody. So we have great plans that are going to be in strive as soon as we get out of all this staying at home, staying safe issues. Because I remember when I was young, when things like this broke out, if it was chicken pox, we all just had big parties. You know, my mom sent me to hang out with the friends that had chicken pox. That way everybody got it and it was done and over with. And, you know, so I remember those virus parties or whatever they had. So as soon as, well, you know, as soon as we can get through this stage of everything and get everything back going, the fall is looking strong to where we will have many opportunities for training. And strong trained leaders make strong trained packs and troops and ships and crews, and with all that makes it a better opportunity for the scouts, the new ones that are coming in that have never experienced that, and the older scouts that are looking for new adventures to take their minds and imaginations to. So kind of short and sweet for right now. Still learning everybody, still learning all the different areas. If you ever need to get a hold of me about anything as a district commissioner, do not hesitate. My email, if it's not on the site yet, should be soon, or I'm contactable via Steve. And does anybody have any questions about commissioners or district commissioners? Because I will be coming and talking to everybody as soon as I'm allowed to, because we need a stronghold of more unit commissioners within our district. These are the people that know the areas a lot better than what a district commissioner could know. They're their friends in these areas, and it could be someone is easily put into that position as former cub masters, former scout leaders, former scout masters that don't want to have the responsibility of a pack or a troop, but still want to be able to have some sort of foothold within the scouting community to help build up these units. So if you don't have anything, again, my name's Michael Tome, and glad to be part of the district team now. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I didn't realize David Putt would be joining us tonight. I got a phone call from him a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about OA elections. Did you have anything you wanted to say to the group?
OA elections we still are doing them. They've extended, once you're elected, they extended that process out 18 months because of all this COVID. So you need to let me know if you still want an election in your unit, so we can go, so we can get in there and do them. And group on the OA committee will figure out who to bring in and how to do it. All I am right now is just to get the names to them of what units want elections. So I've been trying to call around. I got about maybe half done, and I left messages with everybody else, and nobody's calling me back. So if I've talked to you, consider it done. I know Dean, I have, and let's see who else here. 130's been contacted. 149, yeah, 149's 637's been contacted. So it looks like everybody here, but we're still missing a lot of people, and that's what I think we're all trying to figure out here, how to get all these people contacted and get the information out on everything. So we've got a job to do, and I thank everybody for getting involved and doing it.
Okay, thanks, Dave. I have the big rock topic for tonight, but before I get on that, there's a couple things I wanted to let you know about. Oh, that's why I have my phone here. The Tin Cap Scout game, Scout Night. I don't know how many people are interested, but yeah, of course it went away. And there, and there, and there. This event has not been rescheduled. This is from the Tin Caps. We will wait until we get an official start date for the season. While there hasn't been an announcement, a law season for this summer is a possibility. If the season cannot be played, we may look at doing an overnight at the ballpark in late summer or early fall. And this is from Jen Sylvester, ticket account manager. So if you were wondering about Skype night at the Tin Cap game, okay. Okay, another thing, I don't know if you're interested or not, but there's going to be a pollinator invasive species field day on June 25th at 2 p.m. down by Dunkirk. If you're interested, let me know and you can have this, or I'll give you the contact information. It's put on by the Master Gardeners in Jay County, and they got a clean water grant with Soil and Water Conservation and IDEM to put this on. And then, big rock topic, hazardous weather. There is hazardous weather training, online only, and the interesting thing that I noticed was that you supposedly cannot wear your trained patch. You are not considered fully trained until you've taken the hazardous weather training online. Okay? It was effective April 2018, and the course is on myscouting.org. Every trip you take, at least one person should have the hazardous weather training. It's online. Oh, it'd be helpful if I could read my writing. Oh, yes. And Mr. Higgins told me while I was talking about taking training online to remind everybody about your youth protection training, because when they changed it the last time was 2 years ago. So basically everybody's expiring this year. And
Some people at different times, so you got to kind of go on and look and see when your expiration date is, and
yeah,
make sure you get that done.
and I assume you all know why he laughed with me saying expire. Good. All right. Did I leave anything out? No? Yes?
I don't think.
I got some hand sanitizer, homemade hand sanitizer if anybody wants.
The hazardous weather training is more of a fun course than the other training you'll take. It's cartoonish and question answer, and it's pretty fun. I showed it to my boys, and they enjoyed going through it too. So
Again, with youth protection training, save your certificate, make a copy of it, give us a copy, keep a copy for yourself in a file, so that way if there's ever a question, you can go through there and say, oh yeah, here it is. What's that on Michael Scout book?
That's
My.Scouting. Okay. Yeah. So everybody should have a My.Scouting account, profile. All you need to do is log in, and you can take all that training right there. Okay?
If you have time.
It's more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
okay, there's just been an awful lot going on as far as scout camp, scout fees, getting this district committee around. So we'll turn it over to Mr. Higgins and garner a bunch of information here.
Bunch is right. First, I want to thank everyone for your perseverance through all of this, and the way you've reached out to kids and made sure that we're continuing to do scouting. Several units are doing virtual meetings, so we thank you for that. One thing I remembered, Marv, after you sat down, was last month in May, our virtual roundtable, WebEx roundtable, was probably the best attended that I've seen in a long time. And I would like to kind of throw it around the table if we would like to do that in the fall. Maybe only do a face-to-face get-together, like maybe once a quarter, and do the rest of them online. So I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to, bad, good, because I know there's some issues down in Jay County with internet access and abilities to get on and to maintain the connection through the internet. So there's some issues there.
I highly recommend we have virtual ones in January and February.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cold.
Okay. So I mean, I would say if we could get together in August or September, and then maybe in December, and then maybe March, and then maybe June. So that's my thought, but I'm open to whatever you might think, and if we think that's a good idea, if people would be more apt to attend and garner the information that we provide here. So that's one of the things that I would like to propose.
I don't know if you all get the email I get from National, if I'm just getting it because I'm signed up as a roundtable commissioner. But they are pushing virtual roundtables. They're supposed to be revamping the roundtable support page with a lot of information about virtual roundtables. So seems to be where they want us to head, given the reasons like Steve mentioned. Cuts down on travel time with our district being spread out among the 4 counties.
Five now.
Yeah,
5
5 counties, yeah. 4.5 really. Or
Cutting into people's personal time, et cetera, et cetera. So I've got an email against because of the internet issues. That's why I'm trying to record the meeting to put on YouTube as an additional support.
So anyway, I'm open to discussion. We don't have to decide now, but I'm open to your thoughts and your discussion with other people, your unit leaders, if they would be more willing to dial in. Because we send it to everybody, right? We send the invitation to everybody that's on the list, and they all have opportunity to chime in. So,
Well, I'm wondering if maybe we want to try hybrid. We're trying it a little bit now, but I know I didn't think it through too much. I don't know how much the heads are hearing. They're having a hard time communicating with us. But having maybe when we do meet live, we try to do online as well.
a virtual online, yeah, okay,
Just so for those people who can't make it.
right,
Maybe
okay,
make it there. Maybe we can figure out ways to make it better.
all right,
It's a long trial and error.
yeah. I mean, yeah, this whole thing is,
Trial.
yeah, trial and error. We're all learning together.
I have 124 email addresses that I send out. This would be people listed as scoutmasters, assistant scoutmasters, cubmasters, and all the different den leaders.
Den leaders,
So whether they're getting the emails, whether they're going into junk files, I don't know. So you might remind your leaders to look in their junk folder for the emails, roundtable reminders. Somehow we have to get this attendance to increase one way or the other.
right. Okay. Today we had a virtual meeting with our Trails End rep and with all the professionals and John and Chuck, and the popcorn sale in the fall is going to go on, but it is a fluid situation at the moment because we don't know how that's going to look. We don't know particularly, how we're going to do it, how much we're going to be allowed to do, and therefore. So anyway, I've been asked to encourage every unit to sign up. The colonel, your colonel should have gotten a email back a couple weeks ago from Trails End with a link to go to and sign your unit up to go to do popcorn. Okay, this is very important because the popcorn sale is a big fundraiser for not only your units. That's the main thing, was that popcorn funds your units and the things that you guys get to do and the awards the kids earn, but it also helps to fund the council to make sure that I can do what I do and our camp continues to operate, and we can keep the lights on and make sure that camp registrations are taking place and membership registrations are being processed. So popcorn is important. So I'm encouraging everyone. I have a little slip of paper that's got the link, the Trails End link, to register your unit. The list that I received, the only unit that has been signed up already is Pack 3117 in Huntington. So they are signed up, and I believe my pack, because I went on and I did mine this afternoon, Pack 3149, I signed it up after I got this list. So it's not hard to do. You go on and you just tell them who you are and what pack you are, or troop you are, and it will sign you up. There's also a link on here because in July, they're going to have some webinars to go over all the changes and all the information that were on how the sale is going to go. So it's not going to be the usual sale that we all know and love, but it's going to be a popcorn sale, and it may be easier in some ways, and in some it may be a little more challenging. So we're trying to see what we can do, if we can sell door to door. I was told before I left the office today that Kroger has decided not to let us sell in front of their stores this year. That's not going to help us much. So, but we need to have parents and kids and unit leaders out there engaging in popcorn and trying to. So some of it may be online, some of it may be, in hand. Products may be different. I don't know. We're still in the midst of all that. So it's a fluid situation right now, but I was asked to get everybody to sign up for popcorn and get your kids engaged in the popcorn sale. Questions? A lot of crickets.
Still prizes and all that, like usual.
It's all supposed to be gift cards.
Something like that. Something like that.
Gift cards.
Gift cards.
Something.
Everybody seemed to like the gift cards last year because you can go and get whatever it is you want.
Jason did, but I'm not sure Mary did. Better than the junk they used to get.
Did he buy you something, Mom? Did he buy you? No? What a kid. Anyway, all right. I think everybody got the message that summer camp has been canceled as we know it. However, Brian Lineberry, who was the camping chair for the council, and a bunch of camp staff and other volunteers have put together programs that are going to run at Camp Chief Little Turtle this summer. I have, first of all, information about refunds. If you put down a deposit for campsite, or you paid for camp for your youth or your adults, here's a refund policy that you can apply for. Talk to Cody at the office. You can do that. You can, if you have a deposit, you can roll it over to 2021. Okay, so here's some information on camp refunds. They are also doing a summer program. Here's a guide, and here is a more comprehensive summer programs. You're going to have weekend camping for families, units. Come back here. So if your unit wants to go up and you want to camp for a weekend, you can make a reservation, and they will assign you a campsite, and you can take your unit, your family, and go camping on a weekend beginning on June the 5th, which is tomorrow. Okay? Unit leaders will be required to adhere to BSA, CDC, and Indiana recommendations in regards of COVID-19. Weekend reservations may be made online with the link below, or contacting the service center. Groups must have at least one currently registered member of the BSA, and proof of membership may be required. So they're having, so you can go up and you can rent a cabin. You can camp in tents in a campsite, etc. They're also doing a merit badge program. Beginning June 16th. And there's a list in there that you can't hardly read, or I can't anyway.
You got bifocals, you can.
My bifocals went away and I still can't read it. Anyway, so there's a list of merit badges they're gonna offer on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. There is when you go up to camp, you got to stop at Long Lake Lodge where the camp master stays, and you have to get temperature checks, and you got to check in. So if everybody's okay, you can go on in. If somebody in the car has a temperature of 100 or more, then everybody goes home. There's a $5 per car charge, just like Mars State Parks. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So, there's a $5 charge to get in each time you go. Merit badges, the merit badges will be in groups, and those groups will stay intact all day long. There's no intermingling of adults and kids. If you're taking leather work and Indian lore on Tuesdays, that's your space the whole day. You stay there. Nobody goes down to the waterfront or the rifle range or anything. So the kids will stay there. I think it spells all that out. If you want to go up to CCLT and do a day thing, you can hike the trails, you can go fishing, you can go, mushrooming or whatever you want to do. Kind of late. Scavenger hunts. They have things in the trading post that they will sign out to you. They have cub adventures that in the trading post that you can sign out. And they have a whole tote of stuff, and you go and you do all those adventures, and then you take it back at the end of the day, and they've got them all laminated. They wipe them all down, and they do it again the next day. Okay, so encourage your families, encourage your packs, encourage your troops. If you got kids that want to go up for a day, things you can do. Here's a 1 mile compass course. They'll have canoes. It means canoe base, scavenger hunts, and disc golf, fishing. So there's activities for everyone. So encourage your unit to go and participate in that. Cody was telling me, or Chuck was telling me today, that it's about 50% full. Okay, so people are taking advantage of it. I was given the hint that it may get extended for a couple of weeks because it's only going to go on from June 16th till July sometime. Anyway, so they may extend it a little bit. So camp is not going to go on, but it is going to go on. And if you go online at ccltbsa.org, you get this summer program guide. You can print it. You can go and look at it. It's got all the stuff on here that you can do. Okay.
There's also information on the Camp Chief Little Turtle Facebook page.
Yes. Okay. I think most of you should have heard that the Anthony Wayne Area Council is going to redraw the district lines. mainly due to financial issues where our Lincoln Way DE left us over a year ago, and we were they were not going to replace him, so they have decided to redraw district lines. We in Wabash Valley are, I don't want to say lucky, we are the least affected by it. There are going to be 4 districts. The Miami and Thunderbird districts are going to be the ones that are most affected, because the central district, as it's called now, is the black in the middle there that is surrounded by 469 and I-69. That'll be the central district, to be named later. Okay. The Lincoln Way district will get a lot of, they'll get Kosciuszko and Whitley counties, but then they will also get the west part of Allen County, Aboit Township, and looks like, I'm not sure what that, up around Huntertown, up in there, they will get that. The current Pokagon district will extend down into northern Allen County on the outskirts of the circle, down to between US 30 and US 24. And then Wabash Valley in the south remains intact, except it will gain 2 units. Troop 302, which meets up by the GM plant, and the Cub Scout pack in Roanoke, or in Zanesville, which geographically is about 100 yards inside Wabash Valley geography anyway. Okay, so we maybe gained 2 units and 10 kids. Okay, and Wabash Valley will now go up to that same line that Pokagon comes down to. Now there will be we need to have another district meeting, and we need to have discussions about retaining names or changing names of districts, whatever that might look like, or however we want to go about that. All of this goes into effect on July the 1st, so that we are ready when things go for fall recruiting. So, like I said, it's not going to change really for anyone except me, and we're going to get a couple of new units in our mix. So, questions about redistricting? Okay. Huntington units, next Tuesday you will get a email from Chuck regarding the survey that we've had the Huntington Scouts take in the last 2 years for the United Way, because they're still trying to gauge, scouting is what we say it is. So they're going to send out a email, and we'd like somebody to post it on the Wabash Valley Facebook page. If somebody can do that, and encourage your scouts to take this survey, and just, it's like a Survey Monkey thing. It's 4 questions. You hit the go button, and it sends the results to the survey company, and then they regurgitate it back to us in a statistical type format. So if you Huntington County people can do that, that would be awesome, so that our United Way funding will continue. This year the United Ways have, I know the Huntington United Way has instead of us going again in there, and every year we have to do a dog and pony show about scouting, and as a United Way agency, and this year they just kind of gave us what we got last year, which was nice. So they've always treated us very nicely. Huntington County United Way, all my United Ways have treated us very nicely, and they give us money, so I try to help them however we can. So so if you guys in Huntington could do that, I don't know, anybody else, if you see it on the Facebook page, you want to do it, you can do that too, so it doesn't hurt. Questions?
No, but I would recommend continuing using something like Survey Monkey to do it.
Okay.
Much easier than passing paper around.
Yeah.
Collecting it, then remembering to get it to
Right, yeah. But we tried that one time, and
you. Got no reason.
we got very few responses. So that was the reason we like to hand the papers to the leaders, and the leaders give to the kids at the meetings. Here, fill this out, give it back to me, and give it back to Steve. So, yeah, because when we put it out online a couple years ago, we were trying to do a quickie because we were kind of behind the times, and we didn't get a very good response online, unfortunately. So, Wood Badge is still going on. We're still planning to do Wood Badge, so I don't see anyone here. Oh, I see one person here. Are you a Wood Badger? Okay, all right. Never mind. Never mind.
Hey.
If you have some folks in your unit that you feel would benefit from the Wood Badge course, we are still planning to do that at the last weekend in August and the third weekend in September. CCLT, they've changed around the whole curriculum, and I think it's going to be really, really nice. So Wood Badge is going on. Powderhorn is going on the first weekend in August at CCLT for venturing people, leaders, adults, youth, and Makahiki is going on that same weekend in Warsaw. I am going to attend next Tuesday a webinar from the national office that's going to talk about fall recruiting and ideas and tips and pointers and best practices on how fall recruiting can go, because if we are not able to go into schools and talk to kids like we normally have done, then we're going to have to figure out some other ways to reach parents and reach youth to join scouting. So be thinking. I've heard all sorts of different scenarios that the schools could do when they go back. Everything from doing e-learning again, which I think there'll be a mutiny from not only the kids and the parents, but the teachers, or doing a split week where kids go 2 days. One group of kids goes 2 days, and another group of kids goes 2 days, and they fumigate and scrub down the school on a Wednesday and a Saturday. And so I don't know what we're going to be able to do when school begins. So I'm going to try to gather up some ideas and get some thing to figure out how we can do this.
Last executive board meeting that I attended, I thought it was announced that in the Indiana legislature they discussed that and they approved certain groups going in and being able to talk to the youth, and scouting was one of them.
Yeah, that was before this whole pandemic thing came.
That was before the pandemic.
Yeah, that passed. Yeah, that passed. The legislation that was in the House and Senate, in the winter time, I guess, they proposed that there was a list of patriotic organizations that schools could allow to come in and talk to their students without fear of being sued or prosecuted for not letting other organizations come in. So that passed.
Bless you.
That passed, and that is now law. And they were it comes and goes. Anyway, so we were all set to email or to talk to principals and superintendents about us coming in, and then this whole thing happened. So I've heard where outside organizations will not be allowed to come into schools during the day when the kids are there to talk to them about scouts or church or 4-H or baseball, softball, anything. So unfortunately, so we got to figure out a way to reach kids, and I don't know if that's some kind of an outdoor event that we publicize heavily on social media and encourage people to come to. That might work. I don't know. So be thinking of some. I mean, if you got an idea that you think might work, I am all ears. I am open to about anything that we can try to get kids involved and parents engaged in scouting. So
I'll have a small example. The board of the Jay County Scout facility down at the landfill had planned in September a Boy Scout, Girl Scout Saturday, just to get the units in the county together.
Right.
That might be something you could do by the county.
Well, I mean, I think it'd have to be in each county. We'd have to do something in each county to, because parents aren't, going to drive from Jay County to Huntington County or Huntington County to Jay County. So we'd have to try to do something in each county and maybe even something in each community to try to bring kids and parents together. Whatever we're allowed to do. I'm not, we don't know yet. Again, it's a fluid situation, and we're all trying to learn from this as we go, and we don't know what's going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed and what's going to be safe, number one. So we need to kind of work through that. So if you have ideas, please don't hesitate to call me, text me, email me, smoke signal me. I'm all ears, so we'll try to figure that out. Okay? Questions? Answers? Okay, now is going to be the major hurdle of the year. The national office has again proposed another a fee increase. For new members beginning August 1st and for renewing members beginning October 1st. The fee is going to go from $60 to $66. Registration for adult volunteers will be $42 a year. And then the kicker is they are now going to charge a one-time $25 processing fee for every youth and for every new adult that signs up. So if you're already registered, then that does not apply to you. But if we get a new den leader, we get a new assistant scoutmaster, then they're going to charge a one-time $25 flat fee, and that's, I think, as long as you continue to be registered, then that you don't ever pay that again. The charter fee is going to go to $75. And I'm told that this is not the last one. There's going to be another increase in 2021 and in 2022. So at some point in time, the fee will be like a $75 registration fee in a couple of years.
It's not my understanding. Eventually, it will be up to $100.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Yes. So, not exactly what I wanted to hear. And I know a lot of units. I know there's a couple of units in the district where the charting organization pays for some of the registration fees for the kids and the adults. You know, it's going to be a hard sell, but you know, I always look at it that, you know, you see parents putting $200 in joining a travel basketball team or soccer team or a swim team, you know, and then going and buying, you know, hotels on weekends and food and all that stuff. You know, I think scouting is still a great deal for kids. It's a great deal for families, and you know, I don't have to sell you on it because you're already here. So, but that's kind of what's coming down the pike. Comments, questions?
Everything I've read about this, my main question is why the new member one-time fee of $25? What is that going to accomplish? Because they're already doing the processing of previous scouters and scouts in that same thing. So what is that to offset?
Background check?
What?
The background check?
Not necessarily the background check, but
That's included in that for the adults, but this is, I mean, that's that $42 for the adult. That's where that price is included in.
Yeah, 'cause they say no joining fee for adult volunteers. Just the scouts.
Previously registered.
Anybody?
Keep reading.
Or is that the adult volunteers previously registered?
yeah.
Hard to read that.
Where are you reading at? At the bottom down here?
See the little gray box?
No joining fee for adult volunteers, exploring participants are previously registered in any BSA programs or those transferring from one program to the other. So there's a comma in there instead of a period.
Well, yeah.
So adult volunteers, exploring participants of those or those transferring from one program. It says participants previously registered in any BSA program. So if you're previously registered, the $25 does not pertain to you. If you get a new assistant scoutmaster, a parent comes in and says, "Hey, I want to be registered," then they would be charged that $25 fee.
Well, I agree with them. I'm not sure what they're
Well,
trying to cover.
all of this is trying to CYA the bankruptcy, you know, legal fees, all that stuff. John told me that November the 16th or 15th is the last day for anyone to file a claim against the Boy Scouts of America before the bankruptcy cuts it off. And he said you're going to start seeing all sorts of advertisements on TV.
They're already there.
Yeah, I've seen some of them too, but he said there's going to be another flurry. You're going to blast it.
Back to back with the Catholic Church.
Yeah, exactly.
Catholic Church, when you get the PSA one right after.
Yeah.
Getting them on Facebook.
So, you know, I am just concerned that, you know, if this bankruptcy thing doesn't get over with quickly, you know, there may be some trouble. I mean, you know, we may be in financial hardships.
That you've got
Yeah.
That's a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it for the Cub Scouts at least, if you have Cub Scouts for 9 months, if you take the $66, well, even with the $25 added on, it comes to about $2 a week.
They don't see that.
No,
Because you pay
but
it all
if
up
you,
front. As a Cub Master, I've been there. I know.
Yeah.
I've had these discussions.
we've always had once a year pay at the beginning of the year, but I think we're going to shift to the weekly dues. Because it's going to take a little coordinating that first year, but you have the $2 dues, you know, and once a week they're paying their dues, and then they don't notice necessarily that, oh gosh, we paid $75, $100 for registration if it's
Yeah.
Well, you need
meted
that
out in
by-
those small amounts.
Usually by January. You need it by January.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
You'd have to.
And the way you're talking with this is if you can get everybody re-registered by August, even with the new members coming in, they won't have to pay that $25. So how is that going to offset if anything with prorating that gets redone in January or, you know? Sorry.
My head's already spinning today with popcorn, so I
Putting out there what we're going to see as members of the district team and everything. These
Yeah.
are questions and things that
yeah, I mean, we're going to get, you know, we're going to have to do a good selling job to try to get, you know, existing parents to re-register their kids, and we're going to have to do a even better selling job to get new kids and adults, parents to come in and do scouting off the street. That, you know, so I'm concerned a lot, and we need to figure this out, and we'll just kind of have to see where it goes and do the best we can to get to talk to people and encourage them to be scouts and really focus and sell what scouting has done for us, you know, and what scouting has done for our kids and our families, and the stories we can tell about kids that have grown up and become Eagles and are now, you know, productive citizens and are doing well in their professions, and, you know, the things that they have gotten to do because of scouting. So, amen. Yes, sir.
Say, we're talking about popcorn sales. I don't know how many of you buy popcorn from the kids. I never do. They give it to me. And I tell them, I don't buy them, you give them to me. That'll make a donation to the leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I say, I never buy popcorn.
Yeah.
I just
Popcorn.
make a donation.
Popcorn is not the popcorn is the vehicle, the prize for supporting scouting, and so, you know, we need to try to encourage our parents to focus on that. That you're not, you know, popcorn is not the main thing we're doing, because, yeah, they can go to Walmart and buy popcorn for a heck of a lot cheaper than they can from us, but it's, you know, you're selling the program, so, you know, you gotta focus on that and say, you know, will you help me go? You know, I want to go to camp, and if you buy popcorn from me, that'll help me go to camp. Or, you know, I want to go on a high adventure trip with my troop. You know, buying popcorn will help me fund my trip to, you know, sea base or to canoe base or whatever. So, Perry, you guys still going to camp in South Dakota?
Not this year.
Okay, they called that off?
We did.
Oh, you did, okay.
There's too much unknown. We had to make a decision, so we made the decision to postpone until next year.
Okay.
We get to go for the same price and everything as we were going to go this year.
Okay.
So
Okay. Because I guess they canceled Philmont program today. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
So it's possible South Dakota's going to do something similar, but
Yeah.
you know,
So anyway,
we decided not to.
it's that Cub Adventures in a Box.
Adventures in the Box, yeah.
Cody
Orders
tells
would
me that they need to be ordered by midnight tonight. Their Crossroads Council has gotten resources to where they can. There's a tiger, there's a lion, a tiger, a wolf, a bear, a weeblo box that has different adventures in it for that rank. They've got some contact somewhere where they can get all the materials really, really inexpensively. We have ponied on top of them or partnered with them, and we have to order those in the morning. So if you know of any Cub Scout parents, people that want one of those, they have to do it before midnight tonight. If they don't want to put a credit card in, they need to call Cody in the morning before, like at 9 o'clock, and give him their payment. So FYI. Questions? Hour and 15 minutes.
The adventure boxes are $55 a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. They should be kind of fun, I think, because they can.
have several requirements.
Yeah, there's
and
several different
adventures in
requirements
them. Yeah.
and I guess I don't know if all of them have a fishing pole in them or just certain
I don't know.
ones. So
I don't know.
comes with a fishing pole and other requirement related materials to put in there. So okay, I'm done. See, I told you I could do an hour.
Yeah, we thank you for showing up. Hopefully next time we'll have a bigger crowd. We were discussing having a virtual roundtable in July, since no one's going up to summer camp. Vacation seemed to be kind of curtailed for a while, so watch the email if you're seeing my post. On the email.
Check your spam folder.
We'll let you know what we've decided there, and anyone have anything they'd like to add for the good of the cause? How are you doing OA election? What do you call it? Ordeals? Were you just scheduling them in the fall?
Yep,
Hopefully.
In the fall. I don't know when the first one is. They're working that out right now.
Okay.
But elections are over July 1st, so he said July. So
And if you're an OA member, they're doing a couple of projects at campus this weekend.
yeah.
In the dining hall, they've gotten some acoustic panels to put in the ceiling,
Woohoo!
So that will be a welcome change in the dining hall, and they're doing.
Gee, they could have done that about 10 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I'm cutting on my video. I'll see how it works getting on YouTube. Complete novice. I don't know how that works, but I'll.
He'll ask his grandson. He'll tell him what to do.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Night, guys.
Thanks, guys. There's uniforms.